I don't like the sound of that.
No, I don't either. That is insane. Hey guys, I'm Rae.
And I'm Jason.
And today's vlog is going to be kind of just a laid-back adventure day. So we're currently in a tiny little town called Washington in North Carolina. We are going to take the day to just kind of poke around town. We heard they have some really good restaurants, obviously, that are waterfront, and we've been here for about 2 weeks, but it's been pouring rain. So it's our first beautiful day. We want to take advantage of it, snap some Instagram pictures.
We're also going to head out to the Outer Banks.
Yes, everyone that we told we were coming to this area, they said you have to go to the Outer Banks, and we have a very, I guess you could say, morbid side. We're really interested in Roanoke. We want to see in person where this colony disappeared, and if you haven't heard of that, you should definitely Google it. It's a very interesting story. So maybe we can solve the mystery of the Roanoke colony. No, we won't do that. Anyway. All right, let's go get food. Right, guys, we had lunch. It was very good. I think we ordered all of the fried foods imaginable at that restaurant. Then we walked around the town, the little town of Washington. Super cute. Love all the old buildings. And then after lunch, we drove out to Roanoke Island, which is where we are now. And I noticed something really weird is that the drive out here, there was a lot of farmland, but we noticed on the farms were small, what I would assume, family graveyards. I guess family cemeteries, actually. The correct term is cemetery. We learned that a graveyard is attached to a church, and if it's not attached to anything, it's just a cemetery. I thought that was really interesting, and I kind of liked it. I found it comforting that you would bury your family on your property. I know it's a little spooky too, but I'm assuming these properties have been in the family for quite a while because some of them, I'd say we saw like maybe 5 or 6 different properties that had cemeteries, and I mean, one was huge, like it probably had 20 headstones.
Yeah. But
then there were some that only had like 4. So I don't really know the laws or how you're allowed to do that. I'm assuming you have to have a certain amount of land. Anyway, the drive out was beautiful. I really liked seeing those family plots. And now we are at, what's this actually called?
The fort?
The pile of dirt.
Oh. The earthenworks, the lost colony of Roanoke, they believe was right there. Discovered some pots and pans and stuff, so.
Yeah, and some, I think they called it like a Spanish mason.
Yeah, they found a bunch of artifacts here.
Yeah, that they believe belonged to the Roanoke colony.
The lost Roanoke
The
colony.
lost. Woo.
Which we really like, ghosts and paranormal stuff. So this is really cool.
I mean, we have our own theories on it, and we've actually watched a couple different ghost shows about it, and we watched something called BuzzFeed Unsolved and their version of their theories of what happened to the lost colony. But to sum it up, just in case you don't know about this lost colony and their history. Before they brought the colony out here, they had some explorers come out, said it was a great area. They actually met some of the Native Americans here. They said they were extremely peaceful people. They helped them, taught them how to grow food out here, shared their food with them. And then, of course, the next logical thing for the Englishmen to do is to attack the Native Americans.
And killed their chief.
Yeah, so that's what they did, and then they left.
Yeah.
And then they went back and said, hey, Roanoke's cool, we cleared it out. So yeah, send a colony down there. So that's what they did. It was a colony of 115 people that came over from England, and they had 17 women, I think 3 children, and the rest were men. And so they came out to Roanoke Island. They initially wanted to land a little more north in Chesapeake Bay, but due to weather, this is where they ended up. I forget the first name of the governor, but his last name was White.
John White.
John White, that's right. So John White was the governor here, and was getting everything in order. They were trying to learn how to farm here. They were building their houses. John White's daughter came with her husband as well, and she had a baby here on Roanoke Island, and that was the first English child to be born on American soil. So I thought that was really cool. But then they were struggling. It was struggle city. They weren't doing well. They didn't like it. The colony was like, this is not what I was promised in the New World.
The Indians were very aggressive now, because apparently killing their leader does that.
Yeah.
Which, not really like any of
the American,
the English.
The English. Anyway, things weren't going well. They told John White, go back home, get some supplies, because this is bull crap.
Yeah, and it's about a 4-week journey back to England by boat, and then it takes 6 to 8 weeks to come back from England to the Americas.
So he heads out. They're thinking they won't see him for 3 to 4 months. And it ends up being 3 years, because when he went back, the English had just gotten into a battle with the Spanish, and they needed all available ships turned over for war. So he was very upset about this, because obviously his daughter was here, his family was here, his granddaughter was here. So he tries for 3 years to basically try and hitchhike back over here, and he just can't find a boat that's available. There isn't a boat that's making the journey back over to the New World, so he's just out of luck. Finally, he gets a boat. 3 years later, he comes back to Roanoke, and everybody's gone. There's no graves. There's no sign of what happened to their bodies. The houses are destroyed.
And by destroyed, they're just abandoned, neglected, not like war looking destroyed. They were just falling apart.
The only clue they have is carved into a tree is the word Croatoan.
Yep.
So his theory was that they took the supplies they needed from the house, any of the materials, so he thought maybe that's why some of them looked run down, was they took their own houses apart because they needed the materials back then. It's hard to build a house, So his initial thought is obviously, okay, they took their supplies, everybody left because there's no bodies, there's nothing here, and they went south to another island called Croatoan. It only makes sense. That's a huge clue.
With a friendly Indian tribe.
Yes. So he gets on his boat, he tries to go south, he hits a major storm, ends up rerouting back to England, of all places, because, let's not go back north, let's go back to England. So then later on, he tries to make the journey again. He hits another huge storm, and he never makes it. and he never finds out what happens to his family, his granddaughter. So now all we have is history. So people have gone down to Croatoan to try and find bodies. There's a bunch of theories, like maybe the Native Americans actually attacked the colony and they threw their bodies in the ocean, and that's why there's no bodies, or they buried them. Like, this island is really big. Like, if you just went to the southern tip of the island and buried 100 bodies, you wouldn't know. But then our theory, like our argument against that is, well, why would the Native Americans bother burying the bodies or throwing them in the ocean? Like, they just come, attack, and leave. Anyway, it's a fun little mystery. You can read up on it. There's all these theories. You could really go down the rabbit hole, which we really enjoy doing. I really think the most logical answer is they just went to Croatoan and lived their lives out there. Anyway, look it up. It's fun. So that's the history. And now let's show you Roanoke Island.
So we just want to say that we lied. Apparently we read their thing wrong, and we read the plaque that's right here. See that?
We didn't read it wrong originally. The map said
yes,
this is where their forts were.
we interpreted what we wanted to from what the map said. But now,
True.
reading this sign, it says that the colony hasn't been found, but this is still an earthenwork that the explorers created. They just don't know why. And it's not nearly big enough for a colony, which is what I was thinking the entire time. I was like, how would 100 people live in this thing? But still. So I guess the colony was never found, so it could literally be anywhere.
But that just adds to the mystery.
Yeah.
That just shows you how big this island is.
Yeah.
The colony could have been anywhere.
It could still be here.
Is that spooky?
That's super spooky.
Okay, good.
All right. So now that we're out here and we don't know where the colony is, we're going to keep exploring. Maybe it's out in the Outer Banks, really. Let's go fly over there and see what we can see.
Hint, hint. All right, I just want to point this out real quick, just to show that we were misled. Explore the restored earthwork related to the 1585 expedition. Related, as in, oh, we thought it was the lost colony, but it's not. So we're just gonna say it's related to them, though. Okay? Misleading.
So we missed the hours for the Wright Brothers National Monument. They closed at 5. We are pretty sure we read online that the grounds were open and just the visitor center closed, and the visitor center was under construction, so we weren't that concerned. We pulled up at 6 and the gate was locked.
Yeah.
So
I know for a fact it said the grounds were open until sunset.
kind of bummed out about that. I was really hoping to see it, but I guess that means we'll have to be back to the Outer Banks.
So that's where we were going, if you couldn't tell from our little hint when we left Roanoke Island, that we were now heading out to the Wright Brothers Monument.
Yeah, the first powered flight, I guess. So you look
Was it powered?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't get to go to the monument, so I can't really tell you the details. Luckily for us, there's other stuff to do here. So we have found ourselves at Jockey's Reach State Park.
Reach? No. Ridge.
Jockey Ridge, which is a collection of massive sand dunes, and it is awesome. I think this is the second best thing for me. I was kind of bummed out because I didn't get to like really visualize where or why they were all the way out here trying to fly.
Mm-hmm.
But being out here in these sand dunes, you can see they just didn't want to like crash and die, and the sand offers a slightly lighter landing. So
again, this is all assumption because we didn't get to go.
yeah, I would try to fly here, and they actually do hang gliding here, and I think I would do hang gliding here. Probably not many other places because I've gone skydiving before and I loved it, but the idea of hang gliding is terrifying. Just like bungee jumping. I don't want to be attached to something and like, anyway. I would hang glide here and I probably wouldn't hang glide anywhere else.
But that's what kind of happens when we had like really soft plans for today. We weren't like trying to stick to a schedule. We knew that monument, the grounds, well, we knew the website said the grounds were open until sunset. So that didn't work out. We're bummed about that. But I'm so glad we found this state park because it's really cool, and we're just gonna kind of spend the rest of the evening here and watch the sunset and just kind of relax and slow down for a bit. I mean, that was kind of the pace of the whole day, which is nice because this week, even though it was raining and we were stuck in the RV, it felt like we were moving non-stop in my head at least. So it's nice to just get outside and relax, and it's so nice it's not raining. We'll go ahead and end the vlog with some B-roll, so stick around if you want to see this state park and the sand dunes. But other than that, we hope that you enjoyed our laid-back adventure day, if that makes sense. Thanks for coming along. We loved having you with us. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join the Getaway Gang because we'd love to have you. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Anyway, you guys see this? This is insane.
Yeah, this rolled in so fast. So we obviously do not want to be on sand dunes anymore. Literally everyone that was out here, there's like 30 people, we're all like running to our cars.
Yeah, and it's super windy and super ominous, and like sunset's going down at the same time, so like you get these beautiful colors and make it look even more ominous. As you can tell, my hair's all messed up because it's windy.
I like it.
I don't like the sound of that.
No, I don't either. I don't even know what that means. I mean, in Humboldt, it meant that there was a tsunami coming. I highly doubt that's a tsunami warning out here. This is slightly terrifying.
Yep.
On the island.
There's this big metal pole back here at the visitor center. I bet you that's there to try to catch the lightning instead of the dunes. So I'm gonna get the hell away from that.